Good evening, welcome along to the transfer show. Perfect timing as well, because one of the biggest transfers of this summer.
Obviously the whole club want him to stay, and that seems to be the best decision for them, but I think ultimately it might come down to what was talked about yesterday.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to come on to that, actually. It's a bizarre situation, isn't it? A couple of co-owners going round to a player's house to try and convince, we presume, to try and convince him to stay. It might have been something else, but going round to his house. What can we read into that? Have you ever heard of that situation before with an owner going to a player's house?
No, I don't think I've heard of that, no. Reading into it, for me, it's because it's dragged on so long, it seemed messy. The whole vibe around it it's a little bit toxic. It depends what fan base you're looking at it from, but for them to step in and go to his house, it's like they're trying to show a strong hold and get him to stay at the club, because I think they see how much they really need him to stay now.
Yeah, but James, does that also sort of highlight that there's been a power vacuum at Newcastle? Because normally that would be sporting director would do that job, go round to the house, or the manager even, not on a game day, obviously. But
they've been in a really difficult situation because the CEO will be departing due to ill health, and Paul Mitchell, the sporting director, things didn't quite work out there. So it's been Andy Howe who's been doing a lot of the work, doing a lot of the deals for Newcastle, and you can't really blame Newcastle for the deals they've not got done, because the fact is Newcastle are in the market for some of the best players in the world, which maybe they weren't 3 or 4 years ago. They're now competing to try to get the likes of Brian Mbeumo, João Pedro, Benjamin Sesko, Hugo Ekitike, but it's not been that these players haven't wanted to join and haven't been convinced by the Newcastle project. They've just seen other better fits. You're talking about these players going to the likes of Chelsea, Manchester United and Liverpool, who've got that history there, which Newcastle haven't had it in the last 20 years. But it has meant they've been in a really difficult situation in terms of finding a replacement for Callum Wilson, let alone one that could come in and replace Alexander Isak, which means that as things go towards the end of this deadline and this window, it's becoming more and more unlikely that Isak leaves, even if they get the money they want for him, because at this moment in time, they can't sign one replacement when they need 2.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? The fact they haven't replaced Wilson, that's not helping Isak at all, is it, in terms of wanting to get a move? No,
and there's a similar situation with Johan Wissa at Brentford. They only want to let Wissa go if they've got a replacement for him. So you need a lot of things to fall into line for these deals to happen. And when you look at the fact that clubs know that Newcastle have money to spend, they know that they've gone into the market to sign the likes of Sesko. They agreed a deal to sign Sesko for around £65 million. So selling clubs know that Newcastle have this money, and that's why clubs like Wolves and Brentford don't want to sell the likes of Strand Larsen and Wissa on the cheap when they know Newcastle are desperate. They have that money to spend. So it means that Newcastle are in a situation where do they pay over the odds for players to simply ensure they've got strikers in, or they hold their nerve when it comes to the Isak situation and hope that they can find a way of reintegrating him and getting him back to the level that he's been at the last 2 seasons, scoring more than 20 Premier League